Hi guys, it's Amy. Welcome to Strength Reversed. Thank you for watching. I want to say especially hello and thank you if you are a new subscriber or if you've never watched me before. I'm always so just tickled when somebody watches a video that I make. I think it's amazing. Okay, anyway, I watch other people's videos. I don't know why I'm so amazed that people watch mine, but I'm doing a VR today. Called #mybestadvice, and it was originally posted by Cormack Carr, and of course I will link his original video in the description. And I have a page in my journal going already where I have written down all the best advice that I've seen people giving. So and everything that I've heard people say has really spoken to me. I think advice can come from the strangest places. It can come from a TV show. It can come from a billboard. It can come from, overhearing a random conversation. It can come from a YouTube video. You never know when you're going to hear exactly what you need to hear. So I have two pieces of advice that have been shared with me. And one was just one of those things where it was in my tarot group, actually. My friend Trish, hi Trish, she comes up with these zingers a lot. And she said something and it just kind of stuck with me. What she said, I don't even know what we were talking about. It wasn't even about us. I think she had just given me a reading, or I had just given her a reading, but she said, rejection is God's protection. And I went, ooh, I like that. And she's like, I know, it's good, right? So I wrote it down, of course, in my little journal, and that's always stuck in the back of my mind. Rejection is God's protection. My best advice that I've gotten is from my mother, my mom. And when I had my son, I had a really hard time when I had him. And I think looking back on it, I can see that I probably was dealing with, some postpartum depression. At the time, though, I didn't really, I don't know why that didn't pop into my head. I just thought, this is supposed to be hard. And I was overwhelmed. Well, I had a little mommies group where we would get together. All of our babies were similar aged. And I stayed home for 1 year, full time. I stayed with him. And I'm really glad I took that year to just enjoy being with him and to not have to, I honestly don't know how I would have gotten up and left him every day. I was overwhelmed with emotion and love for him, and I just really appreciate when some women don't have the choice to stay home, and some women don't want to stay home, and I can totally see all sides of that scenario, trust me. So I stayed home for a year full time, and as the weeks and months went on in this mommy's group, it was really a lifeline for me because we had similar age babies, and we'd talk about, what was going on developmentally with our babies, and you'd think, oh, good, then that's normal. I'm doing it right. And we'd talk about the stresses of being a mom with an infant, and it was reassuring to me. Well, after about a year or so, I was not feeling it anymore. And I loved my son. I'm so glad I got the opportunity to stay with him for a year. But after about a year, I thought I was going to lose my mind. I couldn't look at those four walls anymore. It was not fulfilling for me to stay home. I was just losing that, my little spark was going out. I felt like I was going to die if I didn't get out of the damn house. And my mommy's group, I never said this to anyone, but secretly, after a year, they were all starting on baby number 2. And just the thought of being pregnant again or having another child, just the thought of it, to this day, I almost fall asleep. Like, I just totally shut down. I feel immediately exhausted. It ain't for me. So it was not meeting my needs anymore, being in that group. I couldn't, I was like, can we bitch about our husbands, or can we talk about like grown-up things? Or, you know, I couldn't have one more conversation about shitty diapers and sleeping and feeding, and like I was done. Like, I'm done talking about this. And so I had a lot of guilt about feeling not fulfilled in staying home. I thought being with my child should be enough for me and should leave me feeling complete. And I had a lot, I really decided though I was going to lose my mind. And so I decided to go back to work. For the next year, I worked part-time, and I taught as an adjunct faculty at the local community college. And I had a lot of guilt over leaving him and over wanting to be away from him. And my mother gave me just a little piece of wisdom, and I'm sure it started like, listen to me, I'm your mother. Okay, so what she said is, what you do for yourself, you do for him. And I've never forgotten that. Taking care of myself is taking care of my child. And it doesn't mean that it's all about me, but I need to show myself love too. And I need to do things that are for me too. And if I'm not happy and I'm not fulfilled, then that affects him. And I want him to see me being happy. And if I'm not happy, doing things that make me happy and taking care of myself. And so thanks, Mom, for the advice. I love you. And I do listen, Mom. I know you think I don't, but I do. So that was some of the best advice I've ever gotten, is kind of like putting your own oxygen mask on first before you help anyone else. Okay, you guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like or subscribe. And thank you, Brian, for starting this hashtag. I've learned a lot. There's a lot of wisdom out there. Okay, bye, guys.